think he's pretty happy there. He'd want to be with the form that they're in at the moment. Can I ask you about something that the Mönchengladbach coach Marco Rose said before the game? He said that City at the moment are playing something close to total football, the old Dutch style of the 1970s. Is he right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're a team that are in complete control of what they're doing. The manager's getting the balance just right in terms of, you know, the setup, the rotation. Everyone he brings in seems to implement exactly what he asks of them. He's totally delighted with that performance today, and so he should be. In
terms, although, of the formations, and you heard Jerry in commentary there trying to figure out as it was going along who was playing where, that point that anybody could pop up anywhere, that particular aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the Cancelo one that we've spoke at length about, Phil Foden, is he a false nine? Is he playing wide on the left? Riyad Mahrez plays high and wide. He had a hatful of chances today. They're a team in a really, really good place. They're a team that have bought into their manager. They understand exactly what he wants. He obviously has a very, very good way of explaining and getting his points across of what he requires from them. And the team are fully in tune with the manager, and that's the result of it.
Talk all you want about formations, but when you got Kevin De Bruyne scoring a goal like this, Niall, it does help, doesn't it?
Yeah, on his weaker foot, incredible. Now, have a look at Zach here. He should be rolling out and really going and closing him down, but he turns his back on him and bends over. So, but I don't want to take away from the goal here. It's fantastic. Just whacks it. Goalkeeper has no chance. But look at Zachary there. Look at him turn his back and doesn't want to get hurt. When you're playing against somebody who does that, it makes it a little bit easier. But take nothing away from him. It's just another superb moment for that man.
Yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he? Let's have a look at the next one then. Gundogan, who has 11 goals in the calendar year of 2021. He is having a right good time of it.
Yeah, and it starts with John Stones' pass there. When you talk about breaking lines with passes, I mean, he fires and takes about 6 or 7 Gladbach players out of it with that pass there, and puts Phil Foden the other side of their midfield, and now they're scrambling. Now it is kind of alarm buttons being hit. The centre-backs get in the same line as each other, which is never good. Chooses the right option, reverses it back inside to Gundogan, and a lovely control and a really neat and tidy finish. But, I mean, that all starts with John Stones injecting the pace into the move.
The point about the formations there, Foden was sort of nominally listed as the number 9, but you see there he's back setting up Gundogan, who's the midfielder, running past him to score. For an opposition, whether you're preparing for the game or in the middle of it trying to figure out who's doing what, how hard is that to handle and to plan against?
Well, it's very difficult, and we saw in the earlier game with if you go man for man, you get mixed up very, very quickly with Atalanta and Real Madrid. I think a lot of teams sometimes go safety in numbers. They'll drop off, they'll go tight, so when they do rotate, they're rotating into spaces. Someone's only ever 10 yards away from you, so someone comes into your space and you're trying to narrow it with the gaps. But I mean, then you're soaking up a whole lot of pressure, and it's very, very hard to land the punch then as well, which Gladbach obviously had to do, being 2-0 down from the first leg. So listen, 2-0 up Man City, they're going to have the...
If you're chasing the game against City, you're in big trouble, I guess. That's probably the lesson.
Yeah, and also when you haven't got, like, centre forward to be a centre forward, and you mark him the way you do, and you've marked for 10 years in your career, suddenly you've all these arrows, blue arrows running everywhere. You don't know whether to stick or twist. I mean, it works brilliantly for them. See Gundogan make that run from midfield. The fact, you know, that Rodri is in behind, making sure that can happen. Foden dropping deep. Centre-half doesn't know whether to go, and then when they get it and they're coming at pace at them, they just couldn't handle the runs that were going on either side of them, and it was a real tough night for the Borussia Mönchengladbach players.
The one sticking point that Guardiola had with the first leg was he felt that they could have been a bit more ruthless, could have really put the tie to bed. Now, I don't know if he was that bothered because they were in such control.
Yeah, plenty of chances
tonight.
Plenty of chances. I mean, this was early on. Great ball from Cancelo again. We've seen that for the last few weeks. He's able to come into the middle of the field and put balls in like that, which is a great ball. I think he could have headed this. Gundogan, he gets into another great run. 2 very good chances there. You'll see Mahrez, you know, probably harsh to say that was a chance, but there were better ones. And Jesus, just again, how often do we see him not quite get his lines right when he gets in on goal like that? Touch behind here from Mahrez. You'd think he's going to pass it out to De Bruyne, who looked with his arms up in the air, says, come on, we've got to be better, you've got to pass it to me. Keeper makes a save here. There was a lot of really good possession. They got in behind the Borussia Mönchengladbach players, but at times, and this is a real slight criticism of it, it wasn't as polished finishing as a team that normally score well over 100 goals, as the caption told us, for their manager each year. But you know, hey, you've won a tie 4-0, you're in the last 8. It's good that you're giving out about...
Will he be looking at some of those chances and saying, I know you've got the quality to score there, you know, is it the killer instinct that he's a little bit worried about? Because Friday quarter-final draw, they could get paired against a Bayern Munich or a PSG, it mightn't be so straightforward next time.
The problem we might have is the percentage of chances created versus goals scored. Against Mönchengladbach, you might create 20, you took 4, so that's, you know, 20% chances taken. So if you only can create, say you get Bayern Munich, you're only going to create 7 or 8. If you're only taking 20%, you're only going to get 1 or 2. That might not be enough, you know. So I think it's just the percentage of chances created and chances taken would be slightly concerning. But you're in a great place. You've got top quality footballers, world-class footballers, and they're
not getting in the team.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, top class maths there.
Oh,
as well, by the way. Final word to you then, Niall. As I said, Friday quarter-final draw. As Des mentioned in the commentary, it has been the graveyard for them over the last 3 seasons for different reasons. We question Pep in it, bad luck. I suppose it depends who they get, but how are they looking this season?
Well, it's the holy grail for them, the Champions League, you know, and since the project of the owners started all those years ago to build the club up, first of all, I think to take on Manchester United locally, but then obviously to go and expand to be kings domestically, and then, of course, the big one that they can win is the Champions League. And for all the money that they've spent and for Pep's brilliance, there's a bit of an Achilles heel there when it comes to this time of year in the competition. They got to a semi-final under the previous manager, Pellegrini, but you know the killer instinct to win this competition has been missing from this club, I would say, not just this particular group of players he has now, and that's the big task. But what a whirlwind of confidence to bring with you when you're playing as well domestically as they are.
Should they be fearing anyone in that draw?
No, I don't think so, and maybe it's a good time to get a big one and have the final almost in their minds to say, right, okay, we overcome this one, we can do it, because they're in rip-roaring form. Their injuries appear to be all cleared up. They can put 18 to 20 top-class players on that pitch depending on who he picks. So no, I think there's something more clinical about this Man City, and I hope they get over that line that has eluded them so far.
What could possibly go wrong? I'm sure you never know, do you?